our session today. So yesterday we had the discussion. Is it audible for all of you? Am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday we had a discussion on one simple example of a network diagram. We go for this lesson separately. Just I gave one example here. This I am just skipping because we have a separate lesson on that, right? These network diagrams are used for time management, scheduling of the activities of the project. So these all diagrams. Are you able to see the screen properly? Yes. Screen.
Yes, I could see the screen.
Okay. Rennie, are you able to see the screen? Okay. Rennie, if you want to tell anything, please unmute your microphone and tell. Yes, please.
All good.
Okay. Right. So this is this network diagrams and all this is used for scheduling the activities and time management of the project. Then comes with the third core area is cost management. Cost is a resource sacrificed foregone to achieve a specific objective or something given up in exchange. This is a definition of the cost involved. Costs are usually measured in monetary units like dollars, or of course we call in kina. Cost management includes the processes required to ensure that the project is completed within an approved budget. This is very important. Most of the times, completing a project within the given budget is a tough task and a very great challenge. So how best you manage your resources to minimize or limit your project completion to the set budget before it starts, that is the efficiency and challenge of the project manager. This cost management process include estimating costs, because before we start the project, in the planning stage, we must identify the number of tasks involved, and at the same time, we must estimate the cost for each task involved. And again, estimation of costs is not that simple. Estimating costs require the technical knowledge and expertise to estimate what are the resources required for each activity, and then resource cost we can add up and we can estimate the cost of each activity. Once you estimate the activity costs, you can determine the budget, and at the same time, you need to control the costs. You budgeted for 100 million, whether you completed the project within 100 million or not, that is the challenge. Then in the cost management process, estimating costs, developing an estimate of costs of the resources needed to complete a project. That means you must list out all the activities, and for every activity, what are the resources required and what is the cost required for each resource. Everything comes in the estimating costs. And then once you estimate the cost for each activity, then you determine the budget. Then this allocating the overall cost estimate to individual work items to establish a baseline for measuring the performance. Then how to control the costs. The controlling cost depends on controlling changes to the project budget. These controlling changes to the project budget depends on controlling changes in the scope of the project. If scope expands, budget also will be expanding, because scope expansion means additional activities added. If additional activities are added, then you need to spend more on that. So that makes your budget to overrun from the estimate. Monitoring cost performance, ensuring that only appropriate project changes are included in a revised cost baseline. So you cannot change the project scope every now and then. Only most important changes when required and needed, then you need to make it, which will add up cost to the baseline of the budget, and informing project stakeholders of authorized changes to the project that will affect the costs. So how, when project changes, budget also will change, whether it is positive or negative. That all depends on the changes, whether changes are positive or negative. Suppose a person want to construct a 5-bedroom house and he planned, and after foundation is laid, he changed the decision from 5-bedroom to 3-bedroom. He reduced the size of the house. Then automatically budget will be reduced. If he adds up another bedroom, 5-bedroom goes to the 6-bedroom, then he has to add up the cost. So this is what, when project scope changes, budgets also will be definitely changing. So that all depends on whether you are capable of spending or acquiring the resources for the increased budget or not. That depends on the, that defines the completion of the project. Then estimation, how to estimate the costs. In the estimation of the costs, analogous or top-down estimates normally, in this case, uses the actual cost of a previous similar project. Suppose just last year December, we completed a project of the same, right? Like construction of 5-bedroom house in the same location, for example. What was the spending for that? Suppose we spent $1 million kina for that. We may take that same budget for the new project we started in this December also, where you may have some comparison of the costs from last December to this December, and you can estimate any changes are there, you can add up and you can finalize the budget. That is what previous experience will be used for current project. And bottom-up estimates, which involves estimating individual work items or activities and summing up them to get a project total. So how much cost will be there for the foundation? How much cost will be there for the wall construction? How much cost for the roofing, electrical work, flooring? So these are all individually estimated, and then we sum up all those things and we come to a particular amount of budget. This is a bottom-up estimates of the budget. So these two are the normally used methods of estimating the budget: analogous and bottom-up estimates. Then an example is given here, how to prepare an estimated costing of the project. So here the list of work breakdown structure items given. This is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 likewise. This we have seen earlier in the work breakdown structure slides where you can find, oh, 1 minute. It is how much? One software project we have seen, right? Oh, the last one, I think. Last lesson we have seen, oh, here, sorry. So this is what we have seen: hardware, one part, software, another system, another part, personnel. So this is work breakdown structure, activities are given. So these activities are taken as a basis, and each activity costs are estimated, and we have prepared a budget, what is appearing like this here. So this way, project management, project manager, how many hours he is spending? 960 hours he is spending on the project. His cost is $100 per hour. So amount is 96,000. And project team members, each member, all members put together, we are spending 1,920 man hours, and we are paying $75 per hour. This is the amount. So testing on all, this is 66,000. So this amount is for the component of project management, and hardware this amount. This way, for each component, we estimated the cost, and we put together made. This is the total project of the cost. 1,521,240 is the cost of the entire project. So this way you can estimate the costs of the components, and we add up and we can get the total picture of the budget for the project. When this budget is split into the months, you can see here the project is taken for 1 to 12 months, 12 months period. Monthly, where in the first month, what do we need? Only project manager time, project team members time, and that amount to 20,000, because the project planning and everything is there. In second month, whose time is taken, so that if you know in which year you require, suppose software team we require in the month of, in the fourth month, for example. So this enables us to know in which month whose services we can capture, and we can go forward likewise. This is cost management. Comes with quality management. Most important aspect of the project management is quality management. Please, can anyone say what is quality as per your perception? What is quality? Unmute your microphone and please let me know. What is quality?
The highest standard possible.
Okay. Any more? Anybody? Quality. Quality, what you feel? What is quality? Sonia.
The standard of our work.
Okay. Okay. So ensuring quality always requires most what we call critical task for the project managers. When you compromise on the quality, the customer will get dissatisfied, and they may take any action of what we call deductions from your remuneration and all. So quality management ensures that the project will satisfy the needs for which it was undertaken. That is important. Fit for the purpose, fitting or fit for the purpose or fit for the needs is normally called what we call quality. Quality does not mean that something came from the heaven. No, that is not possible. What is if I am using if suppose I want to wear the shoes, if the shoes are perfectly fit for my feet, that is quality. If they are smaller than my feet size, then that will create a problem, irritation for my walking. If it is very larger than my feet, then my foot, then it will also inconvenient. So exactly fit for the purpose means the size of the shoe must fit for my foot size. That is what quality assuring. And this process includes planning quality, right? You must plan for what is about quality in that particular project. Suppose what is the quality for house, in the sense the house must be comfortable, and there are certain parameters for house for everybody, right? Planning quality, performing quality assurance, and performing quality control. So these three are it appears different, but all part of the quality management only. The quality defined by ISO 9000:2000, that degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfills requirements. What is my requirement? Whether that product is fulfilling my requirement or not, that's all. If it is not fulfilling my requirement, then that is not a qualitative product. Other experts define quality based on conformance to requirements and fitness for the use or fitness for the purpose. Conformance to requirements means that projects, processes, and products meet written specifications. Hey, Colin, can you put off the video because it is showing network is very poor sometimes. Switch off the video camera, right? Okay, conformance to requirements mean that projects, processes, and products mean written specifically, right? Meet written specifications. That means what is the purpose and whether that is purposeful or not. Fitness for the use means the product can be used as it was intended for, right? Suppose specifications of the product. You take, for example, mobile phones. Nowadays, we are finding with multiple specifications, right? When you speak about the specifications, double camera or camera, or front camera, back camera, or rear camera, what we can say, and internet ability, and 100 megabyte or 100 gigabyte space. These are all specifications. Whether the conformance to requirements means all the specifications met with that product or not, that is important. Then quality management process, first part is planning the quality, identifying which quality standards are relevant to the project and how to satisfy them. That is most important because every project, every different project will have different standards to be met. Metric is a standard for measurement. Then coming to second part is quality assurance, assuring the quality. Periodically evaluating overall project performance to ensure the project will satisfy the relevant quality standards. That ensuring in a sense, suppose we are constructing the house, we test the foundation first. So if the foundation is strengthy enough, because we have so many tools to check the strength of concrete materials and what we call civil constructions. If we say, if the strength of the foundation is very good, and you can have your further construction of the building on that particular foundation. And performing quality control, monitoring specific project results to ensure that they comply with the relevant quality standards. So we may have certain standards, relevant standards specified for the project. We frequently have to check, examine whether this product process what done up to this point, whether this is meeting the quality standards or not, so that you cannot wait till the damage experienced. In the beginning itself, if you could able to identify any problem, you can rectify it and you can further strengthen the project so that consistent quality can be assured. Planning quality implies the ability to anticipate situations and prepare actions to bring about the desired outcome. So what is going to happen in the future if we take up a project, what may be the hurdle in the future, so that we can plan to get out of that hurdle in a appropriate way. So that is what anticipation speaks about. It is important to prevent defects by selecting proper materials. This is important. As I told yesterday, what you sow, so you reap, right? Whatever the seeds, suppose planting cocoa and expecting coffee beans is always a mismatch. So in the same case, materials also, when we are preparing certain item, whether the material is suitable for our expected quality in the output or not, that is most important. We are expecting heavy quality and we are using inferior and Chinese materials, then again we cannot attain the desired level of quality in the output. So proper materials, that means right material at right time and at right quantity and at what we call at right price, so on and so forth. Then training and indoctrinating people in quality. So this is the biggest challenge, especially in our PNG. This is very, very great challenge for the project managers. Training them, even most of the times, those who are less educated work, labor force taken up on the project, if you train them today, tomorrow they will come with the same question again. In many such places, I saw in African continent also, I worked in some countries, when you give a task, they do not look at what is happening around them. Just they go on performing the same task repeatedly without testing the results and output. And even sometimes damages will happen with their activity, but they will not stop that activity because they think that, okay, I have to do this as it is, that's all. But training them and indoctrinating the people in quality and planning planning a process that ensures the appropriate outcomes. So not just training and leaving them, training and making them to conscious about the quality, what we are expecting and required for the project. Then comes with quality assurance. Quality assurance includes all the activities related to satisfying the relevant quality standards for a project. That means we are assuring the desired quality will be what we call exhibited by the product at the completion or after completion. Another goal of quality assurance is continuous quality improvement. That is very important. This project, suppose we have taken up a project and we achieved certain level of 90% quality, for example. We must try to make 100% achievement in the next project of the similar nature. And quality audit, that is what ISO 9000, right? 9000, ISO 9000, what we say. They always audit for what kind of quality measures you assured and whether you are following that assured quality or not. Quality audit is a structured review of the specific quality management activities that help identify lessons learned that could improve performance on current or future projects. So this is a very important event. So if any project taken up by a project management team, it makes some, if they do some mistakes, they must learn lessons from that mistakes, and in the next project, they must not repeat that error or repeat the same error. So these are some review questions. So actually I thought of giving you questions for each lesson, but since we already have 3 assessment tasks, I don't want to make a further burden on you people. So we just have lessons here and we can talk about, what we call the assignments, and you complete assignments, that's all. Okay, now we'll go to another lesson, because these are the 4 core areas of knowledge. One is, what is the first one? Cost scope management. This scope management is very, very important, because your entire project depends on the scope of the project. So scope management is very sensitive. Then that is what you set the boundaries for the project very carefully. Then time management, whether your project is completing within the time allotted, and costs associated, cost management and quality. These are the 4 core areas of the project management, and we must be very careful of learning these things, understanding these 4 areas. Okay, we'll come with another lesson now, right? Any questions for me?
Okay, I just have one question.
Yes, please.
So these core areas for managing a project, can we use this when we are trying to
Definitely
write up
you
a
can.
proposal, project proposal?
Yeah. Proposal, you can use it.
Okay.
Then, if anyone have any question, please let me know. We'll go further, another lesson. Any questions for me? So next comes with the facilitating areas, which we had discussion in the first, second lesson. So these are what we can say ancillary areas or supporting areas. So human resources or project team, communication, risks, procurement, right? These are the what we can say facilitating areas of the project management, right? Then finally, management of managing the integration, project integration. How human resources are important for any project? Can anyone? How human resources are important in the project management? Hello.
Sorry, what's your question?
How human resources are important
In
in
project
the project
management.
management?
They are in charge of hiring your team
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and yeah,
Okay.
or your project team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is crucial because selecting proper team members itself is a half success, right?
Yeah.
Okay then. So the human resources are most important resource for the project or any organization and even project organizations also. And making the most effective use of the people involved with a project that is the that will help the project management or project team to successfully execute the project within the budget and within the time period. The processes include developing the human resource plan, HRP, acquiring the project team, then developing the project team and managing the project team. Because once you select the team, it is not ending, that is just beginning alone. Why? In the sense, when you require certain people for the project, selection itself is not ending. Why? In the sense, after selecting, making them to the unitely working to achieve the project goals is very, very tough task and a very big challenge for the project manager. So that is the reason why once you acquire the project team, we will also need to think about how to develop, that is a project, what we call human resource development, how to develop them to rise up to the occasion, and also how to manage the project team. That means bringing all the team members on the board to achieve the objectives uniformly and what we call as desired and expected. Then comes to the managing project team, developing the human resource plan first, that is planning HRP. That means identifying and documenting project roles first, because you cannot recruit the people just like that, like a public services office or something like. Why? In the sense, in the project management, you need to make a project team the team members which are suitable to complete the tasks involved in the project. You should not find any idle person in the project site, because idle person makes more cost for the organization. So first, you need to look at what are the project roles, what kind of activities we have and what kind of roles we can find. Based on which you can understand roles and responsibilities and reporting relationships. Who has to report to whom? Who is superior? Who is a subordinate? These all organizational structure and hierarchy you must define properly, so that you can acquire only those suitable people who are fit into that particular roles. You cannot recruit Tom, Dicky, Harry, wherever you want. That is not possible and that is not required. Project becomes unfeasible if you recruit more and more people. Once you decide number of roles and the number of activities and tasks and subtasks, everything, then you can acquire the project team. Acquiring in the sense getting the needed personnel assigned to and working on the project. So when you decide you need a few civil engineers, for example, 5 civil engineers, you can acquire only 5 civil engineers. Don't recruit many. You need 3 mechanical engineers. You can take them. You need a plumbing activity. Suppose you need to recruit only plumbing activity related people. You need electrical engineers. You need to recruit them. So once you know once you have the clarity of the roles and activities in the project, then you can go to that particular set of people, not general recruitment like what we call general office recruitment. No. Then comes with developing the project team. In this, building individual and group skills. So this is what sometimes you may be recruited some fresh engineering graduates from any school, but they may not be having exposure to the project like which you have taken up. So you need to acquaint them the skills related in this particular. At least one most important thing is in the project management. Individually, nobody can do anything. All individuals put together in the group, they can do so many things. So we must train them, building individual and group skills, how to work in the group. That becomes a big task. If a fellow in the group is not cooperating well, then the entire project will be failed. So that is the reason why you must train or inculcate the individual and group skills to enhance the project performance. And also, managing the project team, this is a tough task. Even we can control 100 monkeys, but we cannot control 10 people if they are with different attitudes and behaviors. So tracking team members' performance, each member, we need to, that is what in the human resources, we have job description and job specification. So every individual whom you are taking on the board of the project team, you must give them their project, what we call job description very properly. So that what happens, what that person is going to do and what we call, they knows well what to do, what not to do. So that tracking the team performance will also become easy. What for they recruited, what they are doing, that's all. Motivating the team members, because sometimes results may be adverse and your team members may be, it is like taking on board of a cricket team or a football team or rugby team. Sometimes if a player may not be performing well, we have to motivate them to perform well. Providing timely feedback, whether they are doing good or not. Resolving issues and conflicts. Sometimes within the group, you may have differences between 2 members. You must address them very positively and proactively. And coordinating changes. Suppose certain changes, scope changed for the project. If scope changed in the project, you must encourage your team members or project team to take up those changed activities also in the same spirit. Then comes with the next point, Can we go forward? So managing project communication, which includes processes involved in communication, project information with stakeholders. This is very important. When a project is taken up, all the stakeholders related to the project, suppose there are community members involved, for what funding agencies involved and government involved, and so many are there, for example. So the project manager's responsibility lies with the proper communication to all the stakeholders on time. This communication, managing communication includes, or this process includes, identifying stakeholders. Very first instance, this is the big problem. Who is the stakeholder for your project? You cannot say simply the sponsor alone is a stakeholder. No. By taking up a project, there may be a possibility of many linked people. Community may be involved, employees may be involved, and the sponsors involved, government agencies may be involved. So whom we need to support. Sometimes legal or judiciary will be asking for some kind of information. If suppose that is a public project, judiciary will question, how can you protect the environment, or how can you protect the interests of the community? These all come into the picture. So all this forms part of the stakeholders. So you must identify who are directly or indirectly linked to the project. Then you plan for the communication, how to communicate them, because stakeholders may be diversified and differently located. How best you communicate them? You must make a strategy for communication methods. You cannot see simply, sometimes government will be doing some funny things. They will give a small advertisement in the newspaper in a remote corner of the advertisement, what newspaper, somewhere in the middle pages. Nobody can identify that easily. Then they simply, legally, they can claim that we published in the newspaper, but the people do not go through that. So these all are not worked out here. So how to plan the communication and distribution of information, how to distribute. You can find so many things today, electronic media and social media and print papers, and even you email them, you text message them likewise. And managing stakeholders' expectations. What are their expectations? You must understand before, and whether we are going as per their expectation or not. That is important. Reporting performance, your project performance, whether the project is what we call completed as per the schedule or not, how at what speed you are going on. These all things to be taken into consideration. Then managing project communications, identifying stakeholders involved, identifying everyone involved in or affected by the project, and determining the best ways to manage relationships with them. Because suppose in our PNG situation, if any project is proposed in what particular place, the biggest task is to convincing the landowners and clans of the clans who own the land. Even sometimes the project manager and sponsor will think that, okay, they jump into conclusion that we met with everybody and they agreed. Just before signing on the agreement or MOU, some different fellow may come and I am also part of this clan, and they may claim that why I am not accepting this proposal. Then everything comes to the zero again. So here communicating and convincing the people is very tough task. So the identifying everyone, this is very important. You should not leave anyone to be taken on the board, right? So we must maintain good relation with them always, because when you are promptly communicating, honestly communicating, people will definitely will support you. And planning communication, determining the information and communications needs of the stakeholders. What kind of needs stakeholders have for the communication. Distributing information, that is making needed information available to project stakeholders in a timely manner. So here I can take one example. normally newspaper articles, they can publish on how the things are happening, and the newspaper normally available for everybody in the urban areas. So that is one of the way how distribution of information goes on. Then how to manage the stakeholders' expectations. Managing communications to satisfy the needs and expectations of project stakeholders and to resolve issues. So here, when your information is honestly transmitted or given to the stakeholders, if the stakeholders believe that this is honest information, then there will not be any problem. If they do not believe, that means our information consists of some strings and all, then stakeholders may be dissatisfied and they may detract the project. Reporting performance, collecting and disseminating performance information. So how much completed by this day, right? What are the challenges we faced and how we resolved the issues? This all comes under performance reporting, including status reports, progress measurements, how much is completed and what is planned and how much is completed, and forecasting how much time needed for completing the next remaining tasks. These all to be taken in the reporting of performance of the project. Then comes with the risk management. What is risk? Can anyone please? What do you mean by risk? Rennie? Rennie, what is risk? Just you tell what you feel, that's all. Not necessary to. No? Don't hesitate. What do you know? Just Sonia, what is risk?
A situation or something that may cause harm or danger to the project or an individual.
Okay, right. Any other?
Risk can be seen as taking a chance.
Okay. Yes, Rennie.
Risk can be something that is good for the project, so the project team may learn from it. Take that as a
positive impact. Sometimes.
yes.
All right. Okay. So risk normally defined as variation in your expectation and actual result. Suppose I expected 10% benefit, but I received just 5%, for example. That is variation in your expectation and the actual result. If risk is not always negative alone. As Rennie says, risk does not mean always it is negative. Sometimes it may be positive too. But positive situations are very, very meager, very little than the negative situations. Variation between your expectation and actual result, right? So risk management speaks about art and science of identifying, that is what? Identifying risk factors, analyzing them, and responding to risk throughout the life of a project. Suppose we decided to complete some civil work today, but heavy rain unexpectedly started, a downpour, and which never allowed us to complete the task. That is a risk. So how to compensate? Suppose today total activities planned for today were cancelled. Then project will be delayed by more than 1 day. We cancelled 1 day activities, but project will be delayed by more than 1 day. So if such kind of things happens, how to manage it to not to distract our project activities? Suppose sometimes we are constructing the house suppose outside work is disturbed by the rain, then you can complete the inside works where rain is not disturbing. This way we can plan for and we can come out of those risky situations. This risk management often overlooked in projects because most of the times we dare not to take negative into our mind. It is very simple. We can say, if suppose a neighbor passes away, the fellow thinks that, oh, poor fellow, my poor neighbor passed away. They give the statement and they express condolences as if this fellow is going to survive for next 1,000 years. No. But we do not accept the negative. That is the reason why risks, when today's situations are very fine and fair, we estimate that next rest of the life will be fine and fair. That is the problem where many people end up in the risk where they do not take risk as a impediment for the projects. But it can help improve project success by helping select good projects, determining project scope, and developing realistic estimates. This is very important. Most of the times, the realistic estimates are not going to be taken into consideration. In such cases, if you are just to please somebody, people may be taking some estimates. You take, for example, sometimes in the election season, before elections, members will come into the villages and will provide this, that. Even without asking, they will go on promising. But after elections, you cannot see that fellow again in your village till next 4 years, 4 or 5 years here. 5 years, next 5 years. So the thing is, they know that they just give all false promises and can run away. When they get away, they win and they go away. But that is not the way like in the projects. In the projects, you cannot blind yourself from those negatives. That is the reason why. So project scope and realistic estimates must be made. You cannot say unrealistic estimates. That is very important. See, one more example I will tell you. In 2008-9, our budgets were various plans for PNG government was making very billions of worth of estimates and projects and proposals. Everything was there, where they were estimating all these based on the revenue by selling the oil at $140 a barrel. But within a couple of years, 140 per barrel came down to $40 for a barrel. So their estimates were worked out at $140 per barrel, but reality came to $40 per barrel. That is a very huge gap of their estimates and reality. Then many things have been changed over the course of 2011 to even today. Their estimates are gone wrong. They projected that this $140 per barrel will be prevailing forever. No. Now it is just around $50 per barrel. So our estimates were gone wrong without having any futuristic idea of the estimates or estimating people. So in this managing project risk, identifying the risk, that means based on the past project experiences, based on the past happenings, and based on the future expectations and future changes in the economy, society, and various things, we have to identify the risks, determining which risks are likely to affect a project and documenting the characteristics of each. What kind of risks possible? With our estimates, what are the possibilities? And performing qualitative risk analysis, prioritizing risks based on their probability and impact of occurrence. So probability means, suppose we are farming paddy, for example, for rice. What is suppose your plantation is happening today, you are doing a plantation today, you must understand within next 3 months or 4 months, what is the possibility of heavy winds and cyclones, etc. You can easily understand now because technologies are available. Then if heavy cyclone is there, at the time of harvesting the crop, entire crop will be damaged. So that is the reason why we need to prioritize what is the probability, and then if high probability is there, you have to take the measures to minimize its impact. Then next, qualitative in the sense only probabilities and happening. Quantitative risk analysis, how much we may be losing, that is what quantitative. Numerically estimating the effects of risks on project objectives. How much, suppose we are expecting some risk suppose we started a project in January, right? And we are proposing to complete it by July, right? But in the month of July, we are expecting heavy cyclone effect. Then if you are expecting this, you must invest more resources and recruit more workforce, and you must complete by June itself, so that you are escaping from the risk happening for the project in the month of July. That is what the risk management helps us to advance planning and come out of the risks of that particular happening of incident. Then planning risk responses. How do you respond for the risks? Taking steps to enhance opportunities and reduce threats to meeting project objectives. So if there are opportunities, you take and grab the opportunities and reduce the threats coming out of the what we call particular risk expectations, and you manage the balance. Monitoring and controlling risks. Monitoring identified and residual risks. You identified some risks. You must monitor whether they are going to happen or not. High chances of happening or lower chance of happening. And also residual risks available, what going to happen. Identifying new risks. Sometimes we do not expect some kind of new risks. You take, for example, who expected this Wuhan virus in the world? By November, nobody knows it. Even till the December ending, we don't know. Only in the February, we realized it is eating away the people across the world. So unexpected new risks also sometimes coming and what we call intervening. We must identify them and carrying out. So here, with respect to this Wuhan virus, we can take example of Taiwan. Taiwan very successfully contained this what we call virus because they sensed it very in advance because they are very near to China. They advanced well, and without lockdown they could manage the virus does not affect, total cases are less than 1,000, deaths are just around 12 or 10 or 12, I think, I'm not sure, but less than 20. Carrying out risk response plans. So if this happens, what to do? We need to make various permutations and combinations. If there are expected risks, you must plan well in advance. Evaluating the effectiveness of risk strategies throughout the life of the project. So you should not, okay, something happened, okay, we solved it very well, and it is not the time to take rest. No. In the project management, we don't know what kind of risk will be appearing in front of us at what time. So the risks will never invite, they never come with invitation. No. They will come as it is, and we have to be careful to curtail its effect or contain its effects on the project. So this is a estimation, probability impact matrix. If suppose probability is low, impact will be low. If probability is high, impact will be high. See here, probability is high, impact also will high. So the project's risks which are coming in this square must be very careful, and we must manage well these top 3 squares. But this column is very crucial. Very high risk. If probability is high, that means happening is very highly possible. Then effect or impact on the project also will be very high. Then comes with procurement. How does we need to procure the required resources? Procurement management involves acquiring goods and services for a project from outside the performing organization. Suppose we need to acquire various resources from outside, how best we can make it. First, this process includes planning procurements. That means you have to take the requirements from each department and each section, right? Then you need to sort out what are different items we require for different departments, like planning for procurement. Then you have to look at suppliers. Who are the suppliers? Global tenders for the supplies and accepting the tenders or bids. Then verifying the qualifications of the bidders, and this all comes here. Conducting procurements, administering procurements, and closing procurements. So this we will go in detail now. In the planning procurement, determining what to procure, when to procure, and how to procure, and how much to procure. How much, that is quantity. Then each item, when you look at what to procure, then again, we need to ensure right product at a right material at right time at a right quantity within the right price, right? Conducting procurements, obtaining seller responses, selecting sellers. Who are the sellers? Because we need to evaluate. We may be getting a expression of interest by 100 people, but we cannot place order with all 100 people. We must ensure, we must evaluate, not only just by pricing, who will be supplying at a less price, not only that, but also who will be supplying consistently without fail. What is the background of them, and also what was the satisfaction for their existing customers. We have to take the feedback from the existing customers so that they can speak rightly whether these sellers are reliable or not. Selecting sellers and awarding contract. Then administering procurement. Managing relationship with the sellers. Always you need to be in a contact with the sellers, monitor them, monitoring contract performance, and making changes as needed. Sometimes we may we may need the changes that we can smoothly make. Then closing procurement, completing and setting each contract and including resolving of any open items. So you placed order for 100 items with 100 different suppliers. You have to receive the material. You have to inspect them, whether those materials are matching with our quality estimated or not. Then you settle the account by making payment. Then the procurement will be completed. Then this is final and last and most important aspect, integration management. As I explained yesterday, suppose to manufacture the car, there is no such possibility that you just feed material at one end and collect car in the other end. No, not possible. Because car manufacturing is having hundreds of different components to be manufactured in different ways and different styles and with different materials. You take, for example, the platform for the car made with aluminum or iron or steel, whatever it is. Then tires made with the rubber. Then certain decorative things made with some cloth and resin or something like leather or something like. Some electronic items are made with chipsets and all. So you cannot produce everything as it is. It is not like a magic stick. You just wave in the air and you get the car. No. So when you manufacture tires in one place in the rubber factory, when you manufacture a platform in the steel foundry, when you manufacturing steering wheel in some other place, when you are manufacturing nuts and bolts in some other place, if you keep everything as it is at its own place, you can never make any car in your lifetime. So you need to bring all of them together to fix, and then you can make a car. That is what integration of all the parts will make you a car. In the same way, in the project also, you may be completing the project in bits and pieces, but you must bring all those bits and pieces together to make an entire project. That is what integration, how best you are integrating. You take simple example. Our body is a very perfectly integrated product on the earth, human body. You just simply take this heart is inside so that you don't have any problem. If anybody have heart outside the body and hanging on the chest, how it will be? How it looks? It is very, very dangerous, right? So the integration in proper way to make a successful product or the process completion, that is very important. The integration is not to be undermined. Whatever the preferences are you are giving for entire project, all the same preference you must give it to the integration management. So it involves coordinating all of the other project management knowledge areas throughout a project life cycle. That is what integration, which ensures that all the elements of the project come together at the right times to complete the project successfully. Project managers must coordinate all of the other knowledge areas throughout a project's life cycle. This is very important. Integration management process, what includes? Develop the project charter. As I told yesterday, project constitution, you must prepare, working with stakeholders to create the document that formally authorizes a project. Then develop the project management plan, coordinating all planning efforts to create a consistent, coherent document. Then direct and manage project execution, carrying out the project management plan by performing the activities included in the document or charter. Monitoring and control the project work. Overseeing project work to meet the performance objectives of the project. Whatever the objectives we have, we meet those objectives. Perform integrated change control. If there is a control, there is a change expected or required, you must coordinate the changes that affect the project's deliverables and organizational process assets. Close the project or phases, finalizing all the project activities to formally close the project or phase. So once you connect all the components of the project and you run the project once, then you can close the project there and you can clear the site from that place. So these are the review questions. Now, any questions for me? Please let me know. Any questions? So I will upload some more video recorded lessons. I will give you the links to you. You can go through those links and view those videos on this weekend. On Saturday, Sunday, we don't have any activities or lessons. But your task, one task that in the unit outline, you can find the Cow Growers project. This is similar that, you can see, I can share this. You can just see this. So this is a Cow Growers project. This consider the cow grower in Banj, Jivaka province, who has to get her harvest to the Leh vegetable market. The project scope is as follows. Scope management is given to you. Organized team, harvest cow, arrange transport cow to Leh, all cow sold. Here you are not cultivating. You are just harvesting. Already cow is grown. You are harvesting it and you are going to sell in the market, right? So there are 5 different tasks involved. For the purpose of analysis, this project and determining the critical path, a number of assumptions are necessary. It takes 2 weeks to get the cow to lay and sell. This is a overall time taken for the project is given. There are no landowner issues with the land use. So arranging transport to take the harvest to Leh is hassle-free. So these are the conditions. All the cow harvested and transported to Leh are sold. There is no remainder or residual of the output. You must answer these following questions. You listen to those what we call videos which I am sharing the links. Then you can attempt the activity, right? This task. Fill in the blanks in the data table, which is given here. This is the data table. Draw an arrow diagram of the project. Arrow diagram, you can understand from that videos which I am going to share today. Find the critical path in the project. Yesterday, I have explained you different color arrows shows the critical path. Then which are the critical tasks you have to identify. Then how much quality time did the farmer invest in this project? Develop a Gantt chart for the project, right? So this is the table, data table, right? The task duration you must define. Within the 2 weeks, how many days it will be taking. Organizing the team. Preceding activities list is given here, right? Then you have to look at answering these questions, answering these 5 questions, say 6 questions, and filling this this particular gap, this task duration days, and putting all this in the Word file and as what we call uploading on the Moodle, you can do it, right? So everything you must complete by next Sunday, maximum I am giving. Next Sunday, not tomorrow, not day after tomorrow. By next Saturday, if you complete, I put this last date is only 17th, but you did not respond for my question earlier. When you wanted to take your quiz, you let me know. So that, but next week, everything should be completed. We have to start FM 235 in the coming week from 23rd of November, right? So please let me know when are you planning to take your quiz in this next week, so that we can plan for. So I proposed the quiz on 17th or 18th. Are you comfortable to take on 17th or 18th or 20th? But before Friday, you must complete quiz so that we'll complete the task 1, task 2 both, and project plan will be pending to complete in the mid of the December, so that we can make everything complete. Please respond for my question. Elijah?
18th.
Elijah? Sonia?
The 18th will be fine with me.
18th, okay.
Yep.
Rennie? We'll have one more lesson only on Monday. There is no other lessons further. If you want, we can have a Zoom session in the next week also before 18th. That is up to you. But I am planning only one more session on Monday, again 11 to 12. There will not be any other sessions later on. Rennie, unmute your microphone and let me know. Are you ready to take up your quiz on 18th? Quiz on 18th for this unit? Rennie and Elijah, please respond. That will be an open book test because I cannot see what you are doing at your home or office. So it will be an open book test. Open book quiz. Rennie?
To be honest,
Yes, please. 18th.
yeah,
18th, okay?
18th. When again? Confirming that day, that is next week.
Next Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday, 18th.
Wednesday.
Hmm.
Okay, and our first assignment is due this Sunday.
But
That's
you
right.
but we can move it to other day, no problem.
The assignment
Assignment also we can move for
or for the quiz.
yeah. We can submit on the next Thursday, like no problem. You prepare for the quiz first.
That's
Then
for the
you prepare for the quiz first. Then you can submit the assignment on 19th or 20th. No problem.
okay. I was thinking that we go by the date that you
No.
but,
Actually,
because of the quiz.
Actually, I planned for that only, but you need to go through the another lesson, that is network diagrams. Unless you
Yes.
get that lesson,
Yeah.
you cannot do that. So that you can submit the assignment on 19th or 20th, no problem. If you are completing quiz on 18th, you can submit
Okay.
19th or 20th, no problem. It is flexible, no problem.
Okay, then all good. I agree for 18, the quiz.
Elijah? Mr. Elijah? Unmute your microphone and talk. Elijah. Even you can email me, Elijah, if your voice, you have any problem with the voice or microphone is to be unmuted. Elijah. Okay, we'll meet on Monday at 11 o'clock. Okay. Sonia. Okay for you?
Yeah, Monday 11 o'clock is fine with me.
Okay then. Rennie? Monday? 11 o'clock. Okay. Unmute your microphone and tell me. Unmute your unmute your microphone and tell me. I could not hear you. $11 o'clock on Monday.
Okay, just confirm.
Rennie.
Monday is our next session.
Next session on
11 a.m.
11
Correct?
o'clock. Yeah. Is okay for you? Rennie?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Elijah is not responding. Okay. We'll meet on Monday. Right?
Yes.
Have a nice weekend, and I share the links
Thank you.
to the other videos, and you just go through them for the other lessons. Okay,
Yes.
right.
Thank you.
Welcome. Sonia?
Thank you, Professor.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you on Monday. Right.
See you.